When it comes to famous comic book arcs in Marvel Comics, House of M seems to be one that everybody remembers for one reason or another. Now, of course, House of M's central character happens to be Wanda, and the entire thing revolves around her creating a perfect universe for herself, which obviously does mirror some elements of the upcoming WandaVision. Now let's talk about the theories that are already out there that we're going to see elements adapted, and that there is already evidence in the trailer. I really hope you're all ready to become Mr. Fantastic, because this one might be a reach by the fans. Now before we get to the evidence, let's go over what we already know. And that's the fact that Elizabeth Olsen herself has said that she wants to do House of M in the MCU, and that her hope is that at one point they will get to do a version of that story arc. Kevin Feige, who's of course part of Marvel Studios, and the guy running everything, said he would like to do things like House of M. So again, there's plenty of evidence here. Now, if we look at the actual evidence that we have from Marvel Studios when it comes to their track record, like Civil War, like Age of Ultron, you can take a name and you can take the ideas and translate them into something that's nothing like the comic. So in this instance, I'm gonna believe we are technically getting a House of M, but it's not gonna be the House of M from the comics, because that would just be a little too much right now. So the recent evidence with the recent trailer that dropped for Disney Plus suggests that on this bottle you're seeing right now, the writing on this bottle, when translated, translates to House of Contempt, thus sort of being a connection to the whole House of M thing. And realistically, again, if you just look at the story they're doing here, Wanda has gone insane from one event or another that's different than the actual comics. She's snapped and created her own world where Vision is brought back to life. This world is quite clearly not normal. It's being powered by her psyche, by how insane she's gone, and she is in denial of this, and we see that in the trailer as she keeps snapping into different versions of her reality. Like House of M, this is all here. Just you're not going to be getting the actual House of M storyline, because it can't possibly work in this context because we've never had mutants so far. So are they technically adapting House of M and hinting at it here? Yes, but again, like Age of Ultron, the comic was about time-traveling Wolverine or something in the future, whatever. The comic was garbage. The movie was far superior as an Age of Ultron name, but you get what I'm saying here. So I think there could be some setup here for House of M. Inevitably down the road, if they multiverse it again, you could reference it more directly and come back to these events years from now, and maybe this could be a sort of breaking point into which realities collide or get smashed apart by her, and mutants are introduced. So instead of no more mutants, now there are mutants, so they reverse it. But I don't personally think that's their goal here, but we have to wait till we see the series and to see how it plays out.